Hey guys, thank you for joining me. I decided to step outside of the greenhouse today and try something a little bit different. I'm doing what I hope will be the first of many interviews with glassblowers to see what their story is and what got them into glass, and this, that, and the other thing, and they all certainly love to talk, so this would be perfect for them too. Alright, so I'm here today as my first interviewee with Don from American Glass Roots. Say hi,
How's
Don.
it going?
So Don, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself outside of glass?
Well, I'm obviously I'm not a kid anymore. So my first career was in contracting. I, for 37 years, repaired structurally failed buildings.
That sounds dangerous.
A little bit, but then I also got to create some really neat stuff. Waterfalls, ponds, things like that I really enjoyed to make. And I really enjoyed taking buildings and adding artistic flair or something to them that was different than just a square house.
Maybe I need you to come take a look at my structurally failing greenhouse.
Well, we can look at that.
So what got you into glass?
Well, I used to carve stone, wax, and wood. And one day my wife got me a class at a local shop in Fort Worth, and it was a soft glass shop, and I made a paperweight. And after I felt molten glass in my hands, I just was like, this is fantastic. I can make anything I want with this.
Well, and glass is such an amazing medium too. You know, it's what's called scientifically a transitive solid. So it not only will it be solid or liquid, but it will be literally every conceivable state in between. So I found it to be an absolutely fascinating medium.
Well, it is, and I get to teach here, and I teach beginners classes at our studio, and it's amazing that people have never touched glass before, and we get it to that malleable and molten state, and how excited they are, and how enthralled with it, and how it just captures them, and it captures just the way it captured me.
Well, so it sounds like you had at least a little bit of formal training then.
I got formal training, like I said, at Seneca Studios in Fort Worth, Corning Glass, and many of the...
you trained at Corning?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
And
is that how you met Mylan?
No, I met Mylan actually down here, and then I also have been blessed with the fact that Mylan Towns has become a good friend of mine, and he gives me a lot of great pointers.
I'll bet. So what was the first thing you made that you were happy with? Like that you felt was how you wanted it to be when you started?
I think the first time I made a goblet, a long stem goblet, and I was able to blow a hollow stem and blow the goblet top and blow the foot out and then connect them together. And it stood and it looked good, and I was real happy with it. As time went on, you know, I get disappointed when I first make something because it's not exactly what I want, but over and over and over, it gets it.
So how many crappy things did you have to make before you got to something you were really happy with?
I would say 10 to 15 before they were what I considered good. Once I get to over 100, then I feel that I've got it mastered.
What's the one thing you wish you could go back in time and tell your just learning self?
Be more patient and listen to my instructors a little closer.
In almost any field, both of those are good pieces of advice, I think.
I didn't listen to my high school teachers, so why would I listen to anybody
Neither
else?
did I. I was not so good at that. No. What's your favorite thing you ever made?
I love to make sea scenes, dolphins. I would say, I guess, a yellow tang was the first fish that I made, and after a couple of them came out really great, and I've been making them ever since.
Nice. You know, I've kind of been thinking about expanding to a little more aquatic stuff. So what are the unwritten rules in your studio?
I'm a little anal. We have a lot of written rules if you ask anybody that comes here. But I guess the unwritten rule is to help each other to advance in our passion of tooling and forming glass.
So what is the weirdest thing that a guest has ever done while staying at your house?
Well, at one time I had a foreign exchange student from Italy, and their modesty is much different than ours, and it took me a little bit to get accustomed to a young lady walking around the way she did.
Oh, all right. I would probably find that kind of weird right out of the gate. So to wrap up, one last question. What is the weirdest fact that you know?
That I believe, if this is correct, that borosilicate glass, if it has more than 462 degrees of differential temperature in 1 centimeter, it will crack. And it does.
Yeah, oh boy, does it ever.
I've proved it over and over again.
Oh boy, does it ever. I have, so in my studio, I have a 50-gallon barrel, right? And that barrel contains every bit of scrap glass I ever created. Right, it's almost full at this point. The bottom half of that barrel was from my first year.
Oh, I'm sure.
The rest was from the 8 years after that.
Yeah, we had a strange thing here at the studio. We had a rugby net, I guess you call it. And if you made a wonky piece of glass and everybody voted it was wonky, you had to fire it off into the woods.
So you don't want to walk around those woods barefoot is what you're telling me.
Good idea not to. There's lots of broken glass back there.
All right, well, thank you, Don, for joining me for my first interview of hopefully what will be many. And now is your moment for the shameless self-promotion plug.
Well, come on out to American Glass Roots here in Arlington and blow some glass with us. We have lots of lathes, or if you're not close to us, check us out at AmericanGlassRoots.com online. We have a huge selection of color, tubing, and rod, and we'll do whatever it takes to try to get you what you need.
Y'all take care.
Take it easy.